I'm not ready, but it's never stopped me before.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
too late.
Well, it is already live, so.
It's alive. It lives.
Greetings, YouTube.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
All right.
I don't even know whose channel we're on.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
we're on Omegon's channel. His
Ooh, I'm on a
Cthulhu
big channel.
All right, and
Yeah.
everybody, get down on your Masagi knees and worship the Lord of the Damned, for he has brought you a bunch of shitheads, shitlords.
Hey, I resemble
Man,
that remark. Thank you.
Red, I think at this point it's interchangeable.
It might as well
Pretty
be.
much.
It's sort of like anything that goes into a Chevy truck back in, pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if anybody is under the age of probably 22, they didn't get that joke.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, God, that just makes me feel old. I don't know why.
Well, like it matters to you, Omegon. You don't even have Chevy trucks there.
We actually,
Yeah.
I know what of a lie. The other day, my brother-in-law or and I were walking past the fire station, and someone did drive past in a souped-up Chevy truck.
That's
Well,
impressive.
you're fucking kidding us.
I was going to say,
You
I
should
mean,
have stopped them and shook their hand.
aren't
Do you
most
have
of
a
the
lot
people...
of country music fans over there?
Most people in my area are in care homes, so I'm concerned this person's colostomy bag was about to blow out the window.
Rumble, rumble, rumble. Shit!
So that wasn't the rumble of the Chevy engine you were hearing. It was something totally different.
That was somebody else's, yeah.
I don't know. I got the impression that most of the people that had souped-up vehicles in the UK had European models, or they had shit like the Mercure Scorpio for reasons that continue to escape me.
Well, I live by the ocean, and there's a pier, so I assume they were getting a good run-up to drive off and kill themselves.
I'm trying to remember what the acronym for Chevy was. Cracked head, every valve rattles, oil leaks, every tire shot, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, have you never heard the acronyms for shit like Ford?
Yeah, fix or repair daily.
Found on road
Found
dead.
on the road dead.
Flip over
Fucked over,
redirections.
rebuilt Dodge.
Fucked
I
over
remember
rebuilt
the-
Dodge.
Right?
Flip over
They're all-
redirections. Driver returns on foot. Audi
See,
accelerates under demonic influence, etc.
Fuse heads and eats valves yearly.
I can't wait to see you guys try and segue from this to US presidential chat.
Well managed.
Well, yeah. Somehow we were talking about presidents to start with, and then we got on cars. So
Once upon a time,
Well, if we could-
there was a less bad president who drove the Jeep that he bought from the army when he left it. Can anybody name him?
that would probably be Eisenhower.
I'm thinking actually more recently.
Well, couldn't tell
West
you.
Bad. The
Reagan.
original Bush? Oh.
No, Reagan. Reagan had his acreage farm, whatever it was, up in the hills in California, and he'd actually, when he mustered out, he bought the Jeep that he drove, I guess, and kept it in good repair. Bumped around.
Interesting.
Well,
Just
speaking
a
of
weird,
which,
weird bit of trivia I picked up.
well, for the old fucks like me and Red, we remember well Mr. Jimmy Carter. Don't we, Red?
I just like that hangdog look that was on his face in that one meme. I had to give up my peanut farm. Looked like he was about to just dissolve into tears. But
Yeah,
nothing more
that-
hangdog than an old Southern gent.
Well, and the question was, after his malaise speech that made him lose epically to Reagan, how the fuck did he get elected in the first place? I was born the year he was elected. Anybody? Bueller? Bueller?
Magic peanuts.
I really don't
Magic
know.
peanuts.
I honestly I don't know. What year was he elected? Was it 77?
76. 76.
Okay, so I wasn't even I was born about the time that the midterm elections would have happened. I have no strong memory of him. I have very vague memories of Reagan. I mean, I'm not that much younger than you.
Well, I was born like in November, so it was right just shortly after he was elected.
Yeah.
That I was born. And then,
I
of
think
course, my
honestly,
first 4 years of life was his entire presidency.
I would say that at some of what we've seen with Trump, where there's been a rebound and a protest vote against the Democrats in their current iteration, is probably what happened with Carter. Because, I mean, Nixon did sort of fuck that shit up.
Well, what
it was
really
Humphrey that took over from him. Humphrey, from what I've read, was not a strong president.
Well, I don't even remember anything about him. Nobody ever mentions it. But the only things I remember was Carter was just such a weak, lame duck of a president. And then that malaise speech of his really fucked him when it came to getting reelected for a second term. So that's what I remember of that. And then, of course, my entire childhood was Ronald fucking Reagan. Red, what do you remember about it?
Yeah,
Lots of
he's
coke.
away from keyboard.
I think we just need a good monarchy.
Oh Christ!
No,
Yeah, no, we don't need another queen in the White House.
Hey, there was a man there. Her name was
Yeah,
Michelle.
I know. It was Michelle. But no, like my entire childhood, like Ronald Reagan only did 2 terms in office, but 8 years to a kid, that's a pretty long fucking time. That's like your entire childhood right there. You beating something off over there, Metal Gear?
Not really.
Maybe.
Well, and then of course,
romance screw off.
I think he said he was going to have a hard time staying in because of he was on his drive home.
I mean, my clearest memories of a U.S. president, honestly, are Clinton and that whole kerfuffle with the fucking dress, and him spending, what was it, a month weaseling around the definition of the word "the."
Yep.
He was weaseling around the definition of the word "is."
Oh, the word is.
It's like, okay, wait, hold up. You're talking about the very word of existence. If something is, then it is. You're screwing around with the main definition of existence itself. Find it. What the fuck?
I'm tapping away on my keyboard right now. I don't know. Is that picking up?
Yeah. Yep, it is.
We got some sensitive mics in here.
That's funny because my mic isn't that sensitive when I'm trying to record like I was earlier. Furnace kicked on. That ended. I'll pick it up after.
So
I mean,
the reason I got into this was because, like I said, me and Patrick were having this conversation. It's like, okay, so how many people even remember who fucking Ronald Reagan ran against in his re-election?
In his re-election, it was
Walter Mondale, I believe.
Mondale and Perot. Because Perot ran as an independent, a self-funded independent.
Yeah, but nobody ever brings that up.
Yeah,
that's because in America, if you're not one of the 2 established parties, you're meaningless.
Well, and it's interesting because when feminists go on and on about, oh my God, there's not enough women in positions of authority. Well, y'all had a chance to have Geraldine Ferraro as the vice president under Mondale.
Yep, and they fucked that up royally too, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, they also conveniently ignore that the first female presidential candidate was in like 1876, I believe, or 1878 or something like that.
Yeah, way long time ago.
Back when Red was a medium-sized robot,
Yeah. back when he was knee-high to a Zaku.
All All right, so
Wow.
are we going to structure this in any way, or are we just generally discussing presidents?
We're just gonna beat off our politicalness just for the hell of it.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna prove that a bunch of retards on the internet that don't really have good jobs actually probably know more about most of the political commentators working for any of the media sources.
Well, I think it's not that they're ignorant. I think that they're purposely deceitful at this point.
Well, now, one thing I will say, Ronald Reagan's presidency had to have been marginally successful because his vice president, George H.W. Bush, got elected right after he got out.
Well, here's the thing about Clinton, Reagan, and Bush Sr. During that time period, you could pretty much just coast through your presidency and not do much of fuck. You didn't have people freaking out about shit. The economy was still fairly strong. We had especially as we got into the 90s, like technology was booming and taking off, which was bringing income in and keeping the masses distracted. It was really a great time to be a president.
Oh, yeah. And if you want a good idea of what the extent was of computer technology back in my childhood, go find and watch the movie Revenge of the Nerds. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yep.
And remember that once upon a time, there was cell phones that you could use as a self-defense weapon.
I had one.
Oh, yeah, I had one of those.
My mother
I
had one.
the Nokia 1020 too.
I don't recall what my mother had specifically, but like she had her purse, which was well, she had her purse, which I mean, woman in the 80s with like the purse that she could pull everything except for the kitchen sink out of, and then she had the bag with the like 4-pound fucking brick cell phone. Woman had shoulders like a linebacker.
Those classic.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, very badly. In fact, you're not even breaking up. You have broken up.
Come in, Magnus.
Yep.
He will be missed.
God damn it. No, I'm here. What I miss?
All right, there you go. I don't know. You started to say something and then died.
Yeah, some shitbag decided to try to call me while I'm in the middle of a live stream when I told everybody to fuck off for about a couple hours.
Oh yeah, that's when they need something. That's the prime time.
Yeah, they want to bug you about unimportant bullshit when you're talking about unimportant bullshit. God damn it.
Pretty much.
Anyway, keep in mind, you know, Carter fucked up with his little malaise speech, and Reagan got elected, and then Reagan apparently was like swinging dick for his entire presidency, and so much so that he got George Bush the first elected over Dukakis. Of course, now Dukakis made his fuck ups during the election cycle, so there's something to be said for that.
Wasn't there arguments that Dukakis was a fucking former KKK member? I seem to recall something about that.
He was like ethnic Greek or something, so I kind of doubt it.
I remember hearing something about that. I'd have to look it up, and I don't know that I care that much.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what the stream's about, though.
I'll go look it up.
I'm glad you did.
People
I was
don't
really
take
just
people don't take a hint to fuck off. Jesus, goddamn Christ. Ugh.
Well, here you go.
Anyway,
I mean,
what was I saying?
This is alternate.org, but and they start off with Dan Quayle being unable to spell potato.
Well, that's a strong start.
Yeah.
There, now we'll try it that way. Anyway, so you were saying about Dan Quayle being unable to spell potato, huh?
Yeah, well, that's what they start off with here. So they have they managed to have two pretty serious fuck ups by Dukakis. They apparently there was a question during the 1988 debate where he was asked if somebody raped and murdered his wife, if he would favor an irrevocable death penalty. And he said that apparently it basically unemotionally responded with, I've never supported the death penalty.
Yeah, I believe that was one of the things I was going to bring up. And then there was that whole kerfuffle with him, like riding a tank or some shit.
Mm-hmm. That's 4B, G.I. Joe Dukakis. He was apparently Bush painted him as soft on defense, and so he went to General Dynamics in Michigan and hopped on an M1A1. But apparently they didn't have a helmet that fit him right, and so apparently a lot of people thought he looked like a kid playing dress up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was one of the big things. So that was how we lost President Dukakis to King George the First.
Okay, hang on. It was Ford that took over from Nixon, not Humphreys. Humphreys, I believe, if I remember correctly now, is the one that took over from after JFK's assassination.
No, that was LBJ, the only guy who sounds like a Spanish blowjob.
Yeah, Dukakis was such a weird. God, that was so strange. He seemed. It's one of those just kind of like John Kerry. Yeah, there was one of those moments of what were the Democrats thinking?
Well, and then after the first and only term of King George the First,
yep.
Then we got Bill Clinton, who easily made it look like, "Hi, I'm full of shit. I'm the man of the people." But look at the old crotchety geezer riding around in Air Force One and in limousines. He's, that was basically how Bill Clinton got elected.
Well, let's not forget that also Ross Perot, essentially to a large extent, gave us Bill Clinton twice.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who would have voted for Perot would probably have voted for Bush.
That's a possibility.
And Dole, depending on which election we're talking about. Because most of the people who were voting for Perot were not terribly enthusiastic about Bill Clinton, and when given the choice, would have voted for his opponent.
I remember the Dumbo jokes about Perot.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
jug-eared midget fuck.
Mark. Yeah. Come on, Mark. Just because you could lift Ross Perot up like a fucking trophy cup with those ears doesn't mean anything.
Oh, it's a good shit.
I mean, you could easily say the same about Prince Charles.
Oh, absolutely.
There were a match set there in a way. It could have been.
But no, I mean, it's there's a lot to it about, like, all the scandals that Bill Clinton had while he was in office could have easily contributed to why Hillary lost in this election.
Possibly.
Oh yeah. I honestly think that we shouldn't have like hereditary fucking presidents.
Well,
that's how we wound up with King George II.
Well,
exactly.
On the flip side, just because a relative of yours was president, that doesn't, or even your parent shouldn't, according to our rule system, does not disqualify you.
I know, but I will vote against it every time because one could easily lay the groundwork for the other, or we could end up with Jeb Bush.
Yeah, but we didn't. Clearly.
Well, I honestly don't think I don't think Jeb Bush had a shot in hell, to be honest with you. But there's probably quite a few people who did like him.
How do you come across as the dumbest Bush in the Bush family? Like, seriously.
Well, he was the governor of Florida, and that's how they think George Bush II got into office. Or am I the only one that remembers the whole thing about the hanging pregnant chads and all that shit?
Oh, yeah, I remember that vividly. I went to bed one morning and Al Gore was president. Woke up, went to bed one night, and Al Gore was supposedly president. I woke up the next morning and it was all in a mess. And that's one of those that's been spun a lot either way, but I remember it fairly well.
Well, everybody swore up and down that fucking Al Gore won the popular vote. And it's like somebody pointed this out beautifully on Twitter. I wish I could remember who, but the presidential race is a game of chess, not checkers, you dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah, and they know that in advance, and that's why they play it the way they do. So going back and Monday morning quarterbacking it like they have in the most recent election. Well, if it were a popular vote, so and so would have won. Yes, but that's not how the game is played, and both players knew that going in. That's the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
you win the key states, and it doesn't mean shit who won the popular vote.
Nope.
I don't want California and New York to decide my president. I'm sorry.
Yeah, basically. The thing about what's really interesting is the part that often gets forgot about in the Hanging Chad. That issue wouldn't have even come up except for all the major news networks. Is back then we're talking about basically
the only ones.
Yeah, the only ones that was worth talking about. But the big ones that were covering the event all called Florida before the polls were closed in the Panhandle, an hour beforehand. Now the Panhandle, somebody, I forget where, I don't have the link to hand, so take my word for what it's worth. I looked up that the normal historical voting amount of voting that was done in the Panhandle section compared to that year was much lower than normal, and that side votes routinely Republican. So Florida would not have even been up in the air if they hadn't done that. Mostly by accident. As far as I understand, it was just a series of fuck ups because everyone was rushing to call the election. Somebody wanted to be first. I forget who it was. It may have even been Fox News for all I remember. But basically calling the election early because the polls were all closed. Well, people hear that the polls are closed, they stop going, and again, it's just less of them than normal. And also remember, it was the New York Times and some local newspaper went through. This didn't get reported very well, and counted the ballots, and all that and only by the most ludicrously generous standard, which Gore never asked for in his defense, would Gore have won. It would have gone the same way, even by the standards which they were working if they'd been allowed to finish. So it didn't really matter. And the governor, I think, got a lot of flack for having said, okay, we're done, as according to the rules, when the Supreme Court of Florida, which was heavily Democrat, was trying to keep it going, but she finally just said, look, we're done. This is how the rules work. This is how much time you have. We're done. And then that went up to that got fought out, and that went up to the Supreme Court, and that's when the Supreme Court had to decide. Everybody was like, oh, the Supreme Court decided the president. No, the Supreme Court decided whether or not the rules that were laid out well before the election were enforceable or not, and they were, so that was it.
Well, and I was telling Pat about how during Bush's re-election campaign, even Lewis Black, after the fact, said about John Kerry, which he was a fucking Herman Munster-looking motherfucker.
Yep.
But that's not even counting against him. It was the fact that Lewis Black said it beautifully. He said, how do you pick somebody who couldn't beat George Bush? That's like finding a normal person that would lose in the Special Olympics.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of what I thought about in regard to Dukakis. Fuck.
That's what I thought about this election. Like, they could have literally stuffed Harambe's corpse and ran it against Trump, and I think it would have won.
Might have. Oh, beer back.
What's that echo about? Oh, it's
well,
gone.
I think that's Red's. I think it's Red. I'm not totally sure, but no. What they did was this time they instead of the crotchety old socialist who everybody was actually willing to vote for, they decided to rig the DNC against him to get Elvira, mistress of the dork, in his place. And it's like, It's like, are you guys really seriously gonna run fucking Hillary Clinton? Anybody with half a brain fucking hates her.
Hey, you know what's funny though? By pushing Hillary Clinton instead of Bernie, they actually went against their own agenda because nobody is more socialist than Bernie Sanders.
Well, but no, here's the problem. She was the corporate shill, which is more important to them than their socialist bullshit. That's where the problem is. Because Bernie is just an old socialist. He's not a corporate shill. Or at least I don't know if he is. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But that was the thing. She was the one raking in the bucks for, speeches and other stupid shit that she probably shouldn't even have done in the first place. But that's just it. I mean, after George Bush's failed reign at the presidency, then what happened? They voted in the Great Black Hope.
Yes.
Our teleprompter in chief. Yeah, but he could walk on water because all that white liberal guilt fucking held him up.
Yeah,
it's like,
fucking
really, come on, people.
I voted for him the first time because I thought he was the better choice. The second time, I was so ready for him to go.
Well, John McCain, you have to admit, he was like the worst possible idiot for them to pick to run against Obama.
Yeah, that felt kind of like a fucking setup. Like, how can you expect anybody that from the left to vote for McCain? Like, really?
Well, remember, if it wasn't for Nixon, McCain would have been branded treasonous and thrown in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, and we all know damn good and well that, the Sarah Palin jokes were aplenty when fucking McCain was running. And there they fucked up their opportunity to have their first female vice president.
Hey, there they figured out I figured out what Sarah Palin was talking about. It's all coming back to me now. This election cycle made it clear. She didn't mean she could see Russia from her house. She meant her and Trump were meeting with Russians at her house.
Oh,
damn it.
Conspiracy!
Where's my tinfoil hat?
Oh, we finally figured it out all these years later.
Yeah, we want you Russian guys to figure out how to hack so that in about, let's say about 8 or 9 more years, you can hack the DNC for us.
Yeah. We're gonna
Of course, the Russians were like, "We're on it, comrade."
That's how long it would probably take Russia to hack anything. But isn't it crazy how this fucking that's like it still blows my mind, this election cycle. Like, we put Donald Trump, we memed Donald Trump into the White. No matter what shit they threw at him, we polished that turd off, kept trucking him forward straight into the White House.
Well, I kept telling you guys that he proved that memes do come true.
Yes. This is the first time weaponized autism has been successful. Oh, so any of y'all other fuckers gonna talk or what?
Whoops.
I don't know jack shit about politics hardly.
You're fucking Solid Snake. You've got 5 fucking ticks.
Sorry, the cat has apparently decided he wants to
ring in on it. All right, let us have it, Cat.
I don't know. He's just gonna dance around in circles on the back of my chair, and now he's headed for the desk.
I love your cat. I've missed your cat.
He's being fussy. He's got.
My cat had to have an operation recently for it to have an abscess removed from his head.
Ooh.
It's uncomfortable.
Got bitten by a
Ouch.
fox.
You got bitten by a what?
Fox, right above his eye. He had a massive lump, so he had to have it drained. Left open for a couple of weeks, and he's an outdoor cat, so he despised being shut in for 2 weeks.
See,
I can
that's
imagine.
what happens when you Brits outlaw fox hunting.
Oh, but it's okay. The fox was stupid enough to come into the garden the next night, and me being slightly more vindictive and less sympathetic towards that fox, opened the back door and let the 5 dogs out.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
well, then we know the answer to the question. You're the one that let it out.
They are exceptional. While they don't like cats, they're very protective. Yeah. Poor fox.
Ooh, they didn't make friends like the fox and the hound.
If they did, they made friends with its legs, head, tail,
And its remains.
innards.
Entrails.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like one hell of an
Yeah,
orgy.
They did actually.
Well, that sounds like
Just to clarify, they did slam into the fox, and they tried to, but the fox got away.
Oh,
I don't want to actually say outright they killed the fox. They didn't kill the fox. They tried. That slimy fuck got away.
The important thing is that they tried.
Yes, they did. And of course, this if anything should encourage the British government to bring back fox hunting, it should be their fox trying to kill my cat.
Yeah, you need to get on that. You need to talk to the Prime Minister right away about that.
Yeah, she'll totes be on board with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. After she told that guy to fuck off with his hijab, I'm pretty sure she might.
Wait, I missed something?
You missed it? You missed where Theresa May was asked to wear a hijab in a meeting with some Islamatard?
That might have been
and she told him to
Maria-
go
might have
fucking-
been that
oh,
Maria
yeah,
Le
that was Marie Le Pen. Ah, yeah, that was.
I think Theresa
Yeah,
May
you
would have
fucked
actually bent
up.
over and said, "Where would you like to put it?"
Yeah, I was forgetting about that. That was Marine Le Pen.
Mm-hmm.
Dirt. No, there's my dirt moment. If
she's
anybody
not-
wants to do some quote mining, there's your opportunity.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Oh
You know I will.
yeah.
Promise.
You dirty little Cthulhu kin, you. Well, to
So
be
if
fair,
Marie Le
I'm only
Pen-
just now getting my coffee, so expect a few fuck ups.
if Marie Le Pen doesn't get a nice, high, possibly top office next election cycle, I'm going to be severely disappointed.
Well, I mean, she pretty much did exactly what the entirety of Europe's getting ready to do with the entire Islamic group as a whole.
That's what they should have
Told
been
them to
doing.
Fuck
We'll
off.
build a wall around Sweden and keep your rape capital.
Yes, just everyone is welcome in Sweden. Go right in, but don't come the fuck back out.
Just do me a favor and send me the few remaining hot women there.
Well, I do like that one Trump meme where they took that scene from what was it, Home Alone 2, and had Trump talking to some midget of an Islamist, and it's like, yeah, you go that way and go right the fuck back to your country. Oh, that was gold. I have to admit.
Was that it?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I gotta pay for my goodies. You guys keep talking till I get back.
Yeah, what should we talk about now then?
I thought this would be like just all about U.S. presidents, and I'd sit here and learn.
What have you
Well,
learned so far?
I've learnt Belgian buns are fantastic to eat when you're muted and not so easy when you're right by the microphone unmuted.
I'd say it's a good thing to learn.
Is this Mark? Is this anywhere near as much fun as Canadian politics right now?
Canadian politics right now is looking really stupid.
In what way?
Ontario, the provincial Liberal Party there has basically completely fucked up Medicare and the energy subsector, like the energy sector of the economy. So people are paying like $1,000 a month US for their power bills.
Wow.
Wait,
yeah,
I pay like £75 a month for.
I pay about $140 a month in the dead of winter.
Yeah, same.
And that's my combined gas and power. I mean, that doesn't include my water. But I mean, let's say in US currency that I'd probably be paying $120 a month for my power and gas. But yeah, there's month ago, I think it was, Trudeau goes bumbling into a town hall meeting event where he's supposed to be answering questions, and there was literally a woman crying, describing how much her power bills had gone up.
And what did he say?
Said that it was a provincial concern, basically.
That's a horseshit answer.
Yep.
He said we've got to feed these Muslims somehow. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. You're
If you think-
privileged because you have a roof
If you think your bill is too high, just sign over the deed to your house, and we'll install a Muslim family, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
Right back.
Do you think Trudeau will get a second term or?
Isn't that what they were going to do anyway?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because I saw it, the whole Bill C-16 thing with the enforced gender neutrality in pronouns. The original, there was something passed, and I don't know if it was part of that same bill in Ontario, but it changed the legal dynamic of families, where there's no longer a direct assumed legal biological connection between parents and their children. Now you can have family units where there are 4 adults that are legally connected to any given child. And
What?
I'll try and look it up. I might struggle to find it because it was some Christian blog that was bitching about it, and their opinion was that it was just to placate the LGBT community. I'm thinking to myself, the LGBT community is no more polyamorous than any other sector.
It sounded like a slightly more like, I don't know. It just, when you first described that, I thought, so what? You're legalizing godparents as parents now?
Not exactly. Like legitimately, like the way that this was supposed to have been worded was that you could have 4 people, all adults, that were communally raising children, and they could all be identified on legal documents as parentally involved, basically.
Okay.
And so they had a legal right to, like, for instance, if I date a woman who has a kid, she has to go through a process for me to be able to pick her children up from school if I'm not already legally acknowledged as a parent to those children.
Huh.
So this supposedly was a means by which, if you had, say, a single mother, she could make arrangements for one of her parents or both of her parents to be assigned as legally responsible parents or part of the parenting group. The problem is that what I see this as is, what can anybody name me what religion is most prone to polygamy right now?
Islam.
Mormon.
Islam.
Isn't it Hindu?
Mormons in Canada are not allowed to engage in polygamy.
Oh.
They
That's
are
why
in
I
Utah.
said is Islam.
Yeah. And what would probably be the fastest growing voting demographic, particularly in Ontario, which has the largest city in Canada.
Islam.
At a guess, probably. And so one would presume that making laws that secure a voting bloc would probably be pretty relevant.
Yep.
It might be.
Yeah. If you've ever wondered why Democrats in the U.S. love illegal immigrants so much,
It's because if they legalize them, then they've secured a voting bloc.
Yep, because they
Yep.
routinely vote Democrat, even when they're not legally supposed to.
Well, so what happens if Trump trebuchets that entire voting block back across the wall?
Well, there's your problem.
All right, so let me see if this is related to the thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is. I'm not sure if this is the same thing. It seems to be. Bill 28, the All Families Are Equal Act, ensures that parents who conceive their children in non-standard ways are legally recognized from birth. This was an attempt to recognize the realities of LGBTQ families for whom the parental permutations are many. Sometimes a lesbian couple pairs up with a gay couple or a single man to co-parent. Sometimes the combination is a gay couple with a single woman or 3 or 4 people together.
Yep.
Prior to the bill, some of the parents in these family units would not have legal parenting rights and responsibilities, such as custody, access, or support without the say-so of a judge. Now that's no longer the case.
So basically, they're using the LGBT community
As an excuse to
as a bad
despises.
excuse to kiss. Yeah, exactly. That seems to be a running thing with liberals these days. Is we're going to use LGBT people as a bad excuse to kiss Islam's ass.
Yeah, that's well, it's. I mean, they made the think of the children thing work for so long, so now they can say think of the gays.
Well, and apparently this stems from a Charter of Rights challenge earlier in the year that a particular multi-adult family was involved in.
Well,
And-
Red, just to quickly add on to what you were saying,
Yeah.
considering that they're trying to add pedophiles to the LGBT thing, I think they're quite literally saying, fuck the children.
Now, apparently, where is this here? The Ontario Superior Court ruled that the status quo was discriminatory, which, I mean, I would not have presumed that governmental involvement in this was necessary. All you had to do was pass a bill that recognized that if adults enter a legal contract concerning parenting, that is adequate. But I'm one of those people who thinks that we don't need government involved in marriage. The solution to marriage equality is to turn it all into private contract, be done with it, government's not involved.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I mean, the only exception to the government involvement would be the necessity of recognizing those legal contracts for the purposes of tax credits or tax adjustments.
Yeah.
Well, and I think because of Obama being so big on all that shit, that's really where he fucked up and made it harder for Hillary to get into office, don't you think?
I would assume so. I mean, a lot of time and money spent ramming legislation down people's throats that could have been solved much more logically and easily, in my very limited and non-legally professional opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as good that way, though.
Well, and the whole thing that I brought up, even to Lost Pat a couple of days ago, is if you watch any of Ben Shapiro's speeches, which I'm pretty sure we all entertain ourselves by doing that,
Yeah.
he actually
I really like the
actually-
ones where they give him the step up
give him a step up.
because he's a short fuck.
Politically challenged.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I aesthetically, awkward there? Was that insensitive?
I don't-
I'm sorry.
You're so sensitive.
Let me give a short apology.
That's right.
Sorry.
Oh, it was only a minor infraction, Mark. It'll be all right.
You're not getting short with me, are you?
No.
I don't know.
Well,
this stuff might go over his head.
To be fair, if this was a video game, I think Ben Shapiro would count as a mini boss.
Oh, he's so fucking short.
Well, short or not, he is pretty accurate about the things he says. Like, Well, like when Mitt Romney was running against Obama, it was so easy for Obama to make Romney look like a complete fucking asshole.
But his chocolate milk.
But my racist milk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not proud,
Yeah, I was
proud
about-
of his heritage at all. It would have been white chocolate milk, but no,
I was
he had to be chocolate milk.
If he wanted to win, he would have got whole milk.
He should have gone full
What
white
if he-
supremacy on their ass.
Yeah.
What if he mixes white milk with chocolate milk?
Oh god, you can't have any of that mixed. Nah. That's like filthy.
Well, considering I'm the kind of asshole that used to mix Godiva chocolate liqueur with milk to make chocolate milk. Yeah, well,
Yum. That sounds like breakfast.
it is.
Yes.
But no, what it was so easy for Obama to make Romney look like a complete and total asshole. This is the same man who puts his dog on top of a car for a trip.
Yeah. Well, he really made himself look like an asshole. First, he started out being Mormon. You know what I'm saying? That was...
Well, yeah, but the Christian voting bloc was easily willing to overlook that just because they were sick of the Negroid in chief.
Yeah.
The Kenyan atheist.
Yeah.
Well, the
He was,
Kenyan Muslim, but still.
You know what's really funny in the original election? I had a friend who insisted, because it was convenient for him as an atheist, he insisted that Obama wasn't really religious. It was just kind of a thing he did for politics. I'm like, so he's taking his children to that church all these years just for the sake of politics.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
That's to me.
He's playing the long game.
If you have to fake it that hard, I think that's
Commitment.
yeah. No, I have a lower opinion of you than just being honest.
Fuck.
Well, but that was the whole thing about Obama was I think he pretty much started right out of college with, yeah, if you want to get into politics, here's what you need to do starting now. I mean, anybody
First,
going into
take
politics.
off that Black Panthers uniform.
Yep.
Yeah, that would
First,
help.
you take off your Black
quit-
Panthers uniform, and then
Quit smoking pot like it's going out of style. Start attending church. Doesn't matter what church, just a church.
no, wait, hold on. It does matter what church. Put that prayer rug back up.
Well, yeah, I'm in a Christian church, jackass. Yeah, so, well, I'll go over here where this I'll go over here where this black preacher preaches against America.
Yeah, I was about to say, if on that basis, if he was doing it for politics, he picked the wrong fucking church. That did not help.
Hell, he could have probably done better if he would have attended Joel Osteen's church. To be honest with you.
He would have done great doing that, I think, because
Who?
regardless of what people with brains think about Joel Osteen, he's very
Red,
popular with Christians.
You did not just say who about Joel Osteen.
Yeah, I just did.
He's the most famous of famous TV evangelists.
Well, yeah, you
He's-
got to remember, Red's old enough that if you said like,
Jerry Falwell,
what was his name? That Hagee dude,
Jim
Mike
Baker,
Hagee, I think.
Falwell.
Yeah, Jim Baker, Jimmy Swaggart.
Yeah, I remember him. Swaggart,
Yeah,
Falwell, Baker. I remember those guys.
I still died laughing when Christopher Hitchens said if they would have give Jerry Falwell an enema, they could have buried him in a matchbook.
Yeah, that's an old one. I like that one. It's fun.
The only TV evangelist I really have a problem with is every member of the 700 Club.
Oh man,
If,
Well, Pat
there's
Robertson
a flashback.
lived
To
past
700 Club. Jesus.
Pat Robertson's lived past senility at this point.
Dude, this dude's got what is it? It's like something like 100-acre horse ranch or some shit. And this dude keeps asking me for money. Like, what the fuck is your problem, dude?
Dude, he needs to buy sweet feed for the horses. What the hell's wrong with you? God will bless you if you'll send me enough money to buy a 75-pound bag of feed for my horses.
I
Yeah,
need
dude.
to find some videos of Dr. Gene Scott. Anybody remember that guy?
No.
Nope.
He would sit in front of the camera, smoking a cigar, and he would rant and rave. And the only thing that was remarkable, besides the fact that he was crazy,
who was that guy that they
Was it-
did
he was-
all the farting preacher videos about?
I think that was Falwell, who was the recipient of those.
No. That wasn't Falwell. It was some guy younger than Falwell. Definitely younger than Falwell.
Oral Roberts.
I don't think it was.
No, I remember that. Oral Roberts is famous for other things. But by the way,
Yeah.
Oral Roberts University is still a thing. And I
Yeah,
don't know
no, I
if you've ever
passed
seen
by it a
pictures.
lot. I passed by that place a lot, Red. Now on your own time, Metal Gear.
Never.
The place is the. If I thought I could get away with it, I would film a movie set in the far future in a space colony in that place, because the buildings are just fucking out of this world. I'm not lying. They've got like a space needle and everything. It's a small one, but and then across the street there's this ginormous hospital they built that's now an office building.
Yep.
It looks like it's about to take off into space, man.
Well, along our original premise, that's one of the big things that seems to be how people get elected into any kind of offices. Well, I better start going to church for a while before I get elected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why, I'll be shocked when an atheist gets elected. That'll be entertaining.
It's
Yeah, that shit.
it's far from now, I think.
Well, the problem is that person would probably have to run on a liberal platform, and at this point, I don't think the liberals are going to get elected again anytime in the near future.
The only election that truly matters is 2020 Cthulhu. No lives matter.
Yes.
Yep, that would be the one.
You have my vote.
See, if we're still
Damn
doing
right I
this
have your
in another 3 years, we need to, like what we joked about. We should organize a debate whether or not to elect the robot overlords or Cthulhu. You and I.
But we
should
were
have
going to do
that
this,
debate.
weren't we? Because everything got derailed a little bit last year.
Yeah, we really
could definitely do it again in a few years' time.
Huh?
Be good fun.
Yeah, we should definitely try it again. See if we can get Omegon elected as
You know what?
president.
You know what my goal for 2020 is to see how many people I can get to vote Cthulhu.
I want to stop these retards from voting for a giant meteor. I am far more efficient.
And more entertaining. There'll at least be naked priestesses chanting in the streets. That'll be fun.
And lots of sandwiches.
That's true.
Yeah, sandwiches everywhere.
I keep getting comments from someone, the same person, saying, I'm going to thumb down every video you do if you keep putting sandwich videos in it. I'm going to keep doing it now. Get fucked.
Exactly. Precisely the reason to do the sandwich thing, man.
Never.
So if you know what I
One
mean.
person's going to thumb your videos down. Meanwhile, the rest of us who are actually entertained by the fact that you throw a sandwich vid in are going to keep enjoying your videos.
Well, here's the thing:
Yeah,
the
it's-
guy has to at least watch the video up until the sandwich part to make sure it's there,
Yeah.
and then click the downvote. That's still interaction.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And then comments.
You still get that
and then
AdSense.
thumbs it down. I'm so
Like
happy.
it's a win-win.
It is. It's amusing, and I'll make sure I kill him first when I'm elected U.S. president.
Yes. After you force him to eat 10,000 sandwiches.
Oh, he's going to eat a lot of sandwiches. A lot of cock meat sandwiches. Going to
Well, consider the things that I've seen Trump doing in his what? We're not even into his first 100 days. We're still in the first 100 days, and I think he's doing the smartest shit he could possibly do. To be totally honest with you,
What do you mean?
He's doing
Well,
what
I mean,
we hired him to fucking do.
still
That's what
holding
I
ranks. What we elected him to do.
Yeah, I got to admit. I mean, this guy. This is the first president I've seen who's been in that hurry to try and get
Sort shit out.
knock off all of the things on his list.
Do you think that because of the way the media and a lot of the very bitter losers have reacted. He's trying to do
mean
it
like my ex?
to bury them.
Maybe.
Oh, I hope so. I hope he's got a chip on his shoulder. I really do.
He is a fuck of a businessman. Say what you like about the guy. Nobody gave a shit about how racist and bigoted he was until he ran for president.
Yeah.
And then they
Well,
struggled to
that's-
demonstrate that he was a racist and a bigot.
Yeah, they want to say he's a racist and a bigot, but the man has met every black celebrity to ever live.
Have you seen his
Nobody-
ex-girlfriends?
You what?
Have you seen some of his ex-girlfriends? Yeah, he's so racist, he banged a few.
Yeah, he just had to make sure he was racist.
Mm-hmm. He had to confirm that racism by not being able to maintain a boner.
He was colonizing their vaginas.
Yeah, it's insane. I think when you're a businessman of that caliber, like green is the only color you give a fuck about.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's the argument I make
exactly.
about. That's the argument I make about white privilege. White privilege is irrelevant if you have green privilege.
Yep, pretty
Exactly.
much.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
that's
if you're
actually why.
rich,
That's why Bubba has that kind of greenish filter on his avatar. He's trying to fucking take advantage of that green privilege.
The palms of my
Exactly.
hands are green. Does that count?
if you're
Yeah.
making $1 billion business deal, do you honestly give a fuck the color of the guy sitting across the table from you?
As long as you got the cash, probably not.
Well, that was one of the
Exactly.
things that this is an old thing from Milton Friedman, but he mentioned that equal pay laws actually work against people because he said one of the things you can fight with is your pay, and he said wouldn't you want people who are racist to pay a premium to do so? And he said that's the irony of it. If you make it an equal pay law, it basically it doesn't cost someone to be racist or sexist in this
Yeah,
case.
pretty much.
Here's my
I
thing
mean-
about equal pay laws. If you're not equally adept at the job, you don't deserve to be paid equally.
Exactly.
Well, and the worst part of equal pay laws is it makes it to where you can't undercut the other guy to get the job, and then raise your pay as you go along.
Well, and the origin of the minimum wage, remember, was Northern Democrats who were trying to preserve Northern jobs because the freed slaves came north and were willing to work for much less.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But remember, the only racists are right wing.
Yep.
No, the
Just
racists
assholes
have
like
always
me
been.
who want to be indifferent to your skin color.
Yep.
Well, but the red that's marginalizing them because you're colorblind. You don't care about their skin color, so
You're not recognizing
somehow you're
their victimized status
Yeah,
based on their ethnic origin or whatever, hue of epidermis or bullshit.
Oh no, I see color. I just don't give a shit. Oh
Well,
hey, you're
but
brown.
you're
So what?
you're still oppressing them by not constantly reminding them. You're black, right?
I'm so sorry you
I
were
just
born
wanted-
black. Can I hold the door for you? Can I can I put my shirt or my coat down so that you can get over that puddle? Could you just
could yourself a little bit? I'll stand back. I might get you in the eye. Oh wait, not that kind of
You're
flashlight.
black.
Sorry.
Would you like my would you like my watch?
No, yo, you're black. Would you like the rest of us to color our faces in black as well to make you feel at home? Would you like us to pick cotton with you?
Oh God.
Well, and I think that was how Walgreens got away with being low-key racist when they put the Walgreens Celebrates Black History Month right over the large cotton balls.
Hey, you know what? You know what I'm proud of? How fast the shit about Wendy's died down when they tweeted Pepe the Frog.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I eat there every chance I get now, but I'm glad that the liberals quickly forgot about that.
Wait, what?
Well, yeah. Wendy's put out a very rare Pepe,
Oh,
and
The Wendy's girl Pepe.
yeah.
Oh my God.
The Wendy's
Listen,
Twitter.
it is.
Usually.
This is after they declared Pepe a white supremacy symbol. They tweeted it out. So we know that HR and the public people over there at Wendy's are red pilled.
Well, the people at Wendy's know that that those of us who like Pepe actually have fucking jobs.
and we're not too snooty for cheap food.
Exactly.
Oh man.
If Wendy's really wanted to nail the liberals in the ass, they should have started offering fried frog legs.
That'd have been funny. Oh
Frog
my God.
fries, there you go. Or better yet, Pepe fries.
Pepe fries.
Pepe fries and Pepe burgers.
Green fries. That'd be fantastic.
Well, considering St. Patrick's Day is almost upon us, I think everything's going to turn green here shortly.
Oh, I can't wait for Vice and BuzzFeed to start running their St. Patrick's Day as racist ads again every year.
Oh, they're going to. You know,
I
they are.
don't care as long as I get to wear my massive Guinness top hat thing I got from university, where all I had to do was neck 4 pints of Guinness, one after the other, without stopping, and I got it for free. The rim of the hat is in the shape of a 4-leaf clover, but the main part of the top hat is a Guinness thing. And it's one of those sort of spongy, fluffy ones. Really nice.
Oh, nice.
I was so fucking sick, but I've had it for like 5 years now. Totally worth it. So fucking sick. And I'm going to wear it again. It's gorgeous.
Well, see, that's the funny part. These assholes haven't figured out that exactly the shit they do, that they continue to do right now, is what got Trump elected to start with.
Man, that's the beautiful part.
Unfortunately, they don't realize that the way their liberal idiots have been acting does a lot for or against their campaign as well. I mean, it was like we were talking earlier about Perot's voters would have voted for Bush.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
They didn't because, well, I mean, they didn't understandably weren't that crazy about either candidate, but it's one of those where basically it's like, gee, thanks, that's all we needed. I actually knew it.
That was exactly.
And he was just like, God damn
it. All right, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
So Jimmy Carter, right? No? Okay.
We're way past that.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, anyway, I didn't know dick about Jimmy Carter anyway.
That's okay. I vaguely remember.
I don't think Jimmy Carter knew dick about Jimmy Carter either. That was the sad part.
Yeah. It was just. Yeah. Trying to find a way to just. Jimmy Carter was just kind of he was there.
I think he's a lot cooler now. I like his 100-year-old philanthropist phase. That seems kind of. Piss off, Paul.
Well, he did outlive the guy who beat him in the election, so he's got that going for him.
Yeah, he did outlive him.
Yep. Oh man!
I think I'm going to hurry off and finish working on my video because it's another hour I haven't been working on it.
Well, to be fair to Jimmy Carter, when you lose to a celebrity whose most famous movies were him with a chimpanzee, you kind of know there's something wrong there.
Yeah, a bad time had by all.
Is there anything else we need to discuss as far as politics go?
Oh God, we have 4 hours, but I think we're probably good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we've pretty well hit the highlights.
Oh, cool. Because I need to get some sleep. So
Oh,
All right.
And
Well, go to Roland, take your nap.
Damn, I always showed up too late.
thank you, everyone.
The gift of timing.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.